Can you explain to us like what it's like to be on death row as a teenager?
It is a frightening experience. And frightening is just the word sometimes that comes out of a person's mouth. But it was a scary thing for me. You know, I was this little guy. I didn't know nothing, anything about life, anything about people, you know. And I had to be cautious and aware of everything that I did and said because you never know when someone really wants to hurt you. And that's being in prison. And death row was pretty much open to the prison population there, you know. We were allowed to mix and mingle education, you know, employment, recreation, you know. So I came to prison as a child, and that meant that I was a subject and the target of predators as well, you see.
Yeah.
You got to figure, when I come to prison, I was like 70, 80 pounds dripping wet, you know. So, waiting and waiting, not knowing what was going to happen, when it was going to happen, but for certain knowing how it was going to happen. My early years in prison, like I said, there were administrators who made sure that harm did not come my way. And not to say that they were successful because, you know, at 59 years old, I'm not a person that has any shame to say that I've had my share of being harmed, hurt, and abused in prison. But it didn't make me a worse person. It gave me strength. You know?
Yeah.
You asked what was the feeling like at that age. Listen, man. I didn't know how to fight my way out of a bag. You know?
Yeah.
And I was a terrified little fella, man. You know?
I do.
And I've I've faced some pretty rough and harsh people, man. You know? And I've had to defend myself from being molested in prison. I'm not ashamed to stand here and say this now. You know, I could speak on these things back then. And, you know, like I told you yesterday when we were talking, one reason why I would not take the stand and testify against the people who committed this offense, can you imagine? 17-year-old boy, just think about if you had a son that age, you know, and he's facing what I was facing. He don't want to go to prison as a wreck.
Definitely.
Because he knew he'd be violated. You see?
Definitely.
That was one of my, and that was one of my biggest fears because of the history that I had as a child. See, things that didn't come to light before a jury or before I went to the jury. You see?
Yeah. And they never explain that stuff.
Nobody ever explained that, but it's documented. It's notarized. It's official. You see, 2002 the report that came after the fact, but it's too late to submit to the court. But it is in the hands of the right people that are decision makers, you know, and hopefully the right decision will be made to have me released. I pray to God that it is.